Welcome to week 4 of a 10-part series where we start from the bottom all the way up doing yoga classes that make us feel good and get us to connect with our bodies. Now we'll focus on the glutes, the peach, if you will. I am Dani Schenone and I am a certified personal trainer and registered yoga teacher, and I'm here to help you develop a healthier relationship with your body by easy, gentle, beginner movement. Let's get started. If you want to utilize my playlist, you will press play now. We'll begin our practice lying down, soles of the feet planted on the mat. Your knees are grazing up towards the sky. Notice that the low back is not planted into the mat. That might be normal for some of you. If you possibly can you stamp the low back into the mat? Allow yourself a breath in and a breath out. Simply building the awareness of the low back planting into the mat. Now, can you wiggle your heels as closely to your sits bones as you possibly can, keeping that low back stamped into the mat. On an inhale, stay low. On an exhale, going one vertebra at a time, can you lift the spine up, trying to keep that low back stamp as much as you possibly can into a bridge pose. Inhale, lower your hips down. Exhale, peel your spine up, push up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, push up. 2 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, push your hip pointers up. Maybe you wiggle your shoulders underneath your chest, finding a clasp at the low back. Now, if that's you, can you push your sternum towards your chin? Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything down. Nicely done. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock them left, rock them right. And then let's take a happy baby. So you'll either grab behind the thighs. You can also grab the calves, maybe hands outside of your feet. My favorite is bringing my peace fingers over my big toes and then pulling the knees down towards side body. Coming into a happy baby. Like we did in our bridge pose work, I want you to take that low back and firmly plant it, as if you were trying to plant your tailbone into the mat. Stillness might feel good, or you can gently rock left to right. For me, it feels good to lengthen one leg out long and then the other. It might feel good for you or not, no problem. Taking another breath here in this happy baby. Elongate the back of the neck. And then release. Bring the knees back into your chest. You can roll to one side. Take your top arm, press it firmly into the mat. Lift yourself up. Comfortable seat at the top of the mat. You'll crisscross applesauce, making your way into tabletop pose. We're only here for breath and tabletop. Let's bring our awareness to that spine here. Elongate the back of the neck, neutral spine. Making our way into puppy dog pose. So, puppy dog pose is different from our child's pose in that our hips stay over our knees and then our hands walk towards the tops of our mat. Once your hands are at the top of the mat, you can either lie your chest down onto the mat, forehead on the mat, or maybe your chin if you have the opening. And if this is too much, you can grab a pillow or a block, place it underneath your chest, and come right back down into that puppy dog pose. So sort of like that, yeah? I don't particularly want to use a block today. I'm gonna simply come into my version of puppy dog. 3 breaths here.
Can you separate the sits bones away from the tailbone? Last breath. All right, how do we get out of it? I want you to push your hip pointers forward, coming into Sphinx pose, laying your belly down on the mat. Forearms are on the mat, palms are on the mat, shoulders soften down the back. Bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, curling the toes into the mat. On an inhale, lift up through plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Our first down dog together today, bending into each knee. Maybe you drop hips left to right. Just finding some of your own intuitive movement. And once that feels good, let yourself be still. On an inhale, look forward. And then on your exhale, with straight legs as best you can, tippy toe your feet all the way to the top of your mat, forward fold. Trying to bring the crown of your head down towards the mat. You can have a deep bend into your knees if you need. Hands can come to opposite elbows, rock left and right. Releasing your hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Flatten your back, hands to shins or thighs. Elongate the spine. Heels slightly lift. Separate those sits bones. Exhale, forward fold. Next breath in, stand tall with a flat back. Arms lift up towards the sky. Breath out, hands at your heart center. Heel toe your feet so they're as wide as your mat, maybe even wider for some of you. Toes out, heels in. Remembering that low back stamping into the mat, can we stamp it as if we were lying down? On an inhale, can you lower your knees, lower your hips, coming into Malasana squat? And then as you exhale, push through the heels, lift up, stand tall. Inhale, lower down Malasana. Exhale, push up, stand tall. 3 more. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, we push up. 2 more, lower. Up. Lower. Push up. On that next inhale, lower. And then turn your toes towards the top of your mat. Your arms can stay where they are. They can come to their hips, or you can lengthen them out long in front of you, little airplane arms. Simply pulse down, down, down. Keep going. Softening the shoulders down the back. Just a little bit more. Big breath. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen your legs, stand tall, arms come at your sides. Inhale, lift them up towards the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Heel toe your feet into hips with distance. Shifting your weight into your right foot, left foot comes into your chest. Breathe in. Breathe out, hook left ankle over right thigh. So this is Emperor Squat. For some of you, staying there is fine. For others, you might need a little assistance. You can always bring your hands to blocks or a hand to a wall. That's perfectly fine. Like, the idea here is to balance, yeah, totally. But while you're learning how to balance, it's okay to give yourself that extra help. We really want to just get into the left glutes. So flex super hard into your left foot. Like an anvil was attached to that left knee, pulling it down. Again, hands can come to your blocks, to a wall. If you want to play with your balance, one hand can come to a calf. The other hand can come to a calf. Now, can you bend even more deeply into that standing knee? Breathe in. Breathe out. Next, inhale, release, left knee comes into your chest. Exhale, lower it down, other side. Arms lift up, breathe in. Breathe out, hands come to heart center. Shift your weight into this left foot. Right knee comes into your chest. Right ankle hooks over left thigh, emperor squat. Remembering the variations available to you, you can either utilize blocks, bring your hands to a wall, or finding balance. Hands can stay at heart center. One can come to the standing calf, maybe the other. Wherever you are, can you sink more deeply into your hips, bending your standing knee even more? Remember to flex into the foot. Remember to pull that right knee down like it was super heavy, no gravity. Take one last round of breath. On your next inhale, lift your right knee to your chest. Exhale, lower down, arms at your sides. Awesome work. On your next breath in, lift your arms up to the sky. And on your breath out, lead with the chest, weight in the toes, flatten your back, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left foot back behind you, low lunge. Soften your back knee down, uncurl back toe. Hands come towards that front thigh. Then slowly heel toe your front foot out to the side, coming into our lizard pose. So you might need to wiggle yourself until you have some room for the hips. Your hands can always stay with your palms planted. You can come onto your forearms. This is an excellent opportunity to utilize your blocks as you see fit. I like to encourage a gentle rock left and right. You can really allow your glutes to release. I know that we've been here before, but can you notice whether you have created more space due to our last couple of practices together? What changes do you feel in the hips and the glutes, in the shoulders and the core? Whether it's space or tightness, either is normal, either is okay. Planting the palms into the mat or into your blocks, press into your front foot, curl back toe, lift back knee. Start to shoot your body weight forwards and backwards until you get enough momentum to make your way into Malasana squat at the top of the mat, yogi squat. So hands will come at heart center or knuckles together. If you have super open hips, maybe your arms at your sides at a low V, palms facing forward. Your choice here. Elongate the back of the neck. That might mean that you look downward. The sun is coming out, stunning. Breathe in. Breathe out. Planting your palms, lifting your hips up, heel toe your feet back into hips with distance. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, flatten your back, weight in the toes. Exhale, both hands plant. Step your right foot back this time, soften back knee down, uncurl back toes. You know the drill, low lunge. Hands come to your front thigh. Finding that opening here with the front leg, heel toe the foot out to the side. Hands come inside of that front foot. You might need to wiggle that back leg until it feels like it's in the right spot for you. Use blocks or don't, plant palms or don't. So like I said, I'm a certified personal trainer. I was certified by ACSM. I think it's the American College of Sports Medicine. And in order to gain flexibility in any particular area of the body, You must hold that pose or that stretch for about 60 to 90 seconds in order to develop more flexibility in that particular muscle area or muscle group. So when we find stillness and we hold something for a little bit longer than we feel is needed, it's for a reason. It's actually super good for you. That's how you develop flexibility. Dynamic stretching is super good. We did that, I think it was last week, where we lengthened and bent, or maybe that was an in-person class, not quite sure. But dynamic stretching has its place, usually before a workout or before some sort of sports activity. But finding a gentle, soft hold in a stretch is really what's going to allow your muscles to lengthen and gain that space. As you can see here, I'm gently rocking side to side. If that feels good to you, do it. If not, stillness is good. Oh my gosh, remember that 3-inch long hair on my right forearm? I feel like she's growing at warp speed. I need to name her. Put your name suggestions in the comments. All right, let's plant into the palms. Lengthen the arms either on blocks or on the mat. Press into your front foot, curl back toe, lift your back knee up. Simply rock forwards and backwards until you get enough momentum to pull that right foot towards the top of your mat, Malasana squat. My hands are positioned with my knuckles against each other. You can either bring your hands to prayer or that low V that I mentioned at the beginning of this set. Breathing in, breathing out. One last tiny bit of work before we end here. Point your toes forward. The hips will slightly lift. Just simply pulse. Can you shift the weight into the heels even more? Keep pulsing. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down to the mat. Lengthen your legs, crown of the head softens. Heel toe your feet back into hips with distance forward. Fold. Release the glutes. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Planting your palms, stepping your feet back, coming into plank pose here for 3, 2, 1, and then downward facing dog. Dropping onto your knees, sitting back onto your heels, coming into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. I will face you, but you'll face the top of your mat, obviously. So bring the soles of your feet together. And then grab onto your ankles or your shins or just right in front of your knees, yeah? Keeping the left foot where it is, go ahead and grab, kind of clasp underneath your right foot. Now, this might be enough. This might be where you stay. If you want to add on, look to the eye of your left elbow. Now, the eye of that elbow is going to connect to the sole of your right foot, okay? Let's do that. Eye of the elbow, sole of the right foot. You'll naturally hold it like a baby with your opposite arm. Maybe you find that clasp. And wiggle yourself into a version that feels good. Yeah, and then we just rock. Rock left to right. You can stop at any spot that feels particularly sticky, like this feels chef's kiss. Try to keep your shoulders softened down the back, proud chest. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's take the other side. Grab a hold, clasp onto that left foot, lift it up. This is level 1. This is a great spot. You can still rock side to side. You can still feel the opening in the glutes. But if you want a little bit more, look to the eye of your right elbow and imagine it connecting to the sole of your left foot. And then let's go there. This is my tighter side. Oof. It can prove to be a little difficult for me. Once I get there, it feels okay. So if you ever feel pain, go to a lighter level. I kind of equate it to trying on clothes. If it fits, keep it on. If it doesn't, take it off. Just like clothes are made to fit your body, movement, yoga, calisthenics, anything that you do should be altered or modified to fit your own personal body. That's why we don't all look the same when we do things, because our bodies were built differently. These are facts. Stillness or movement. Okay, softly release. Hands can come to your knees, crisscross applesauce, or keep the soles of your feet together, knees out towards the sides. We'll take one last breath together. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, let your hands come to your heart. I want to thank you so much for dedicating time to yourself. You absolutely deserve it. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.